Hello there! Do you have a business analyst interview coming up shortly? If so, this is one of the videos for you. In this video, we're going to cover the defect life cycle in detail. We had touched upon this topic in one of our previous videos, and a couple of you guys have asked for a detailed video with examples, so we are going to do just that in this particular video. Before we go on to the details, if you're new to our channel, I would recommend you to please go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel and also click on the bell icon and you will be notified whenever we post a new video. We cover and post videos on business analysis techniques, case studies, and also interview preparation. Okay, let's get started on to defect lifecycle now. Before we go and look into the defect lifecycle, again, we're going to use a case study which we have used in the past. There's a movie theater chain called XYZ Cinemas. They're looking to build a digital channel for allowing their customers to book their movie tickets online. So it's a very simple case study which everyone can relate, and we're going to use that to cover the defect lifecycle. Okay, let's get started. The defect lift gets triggered or started when there is a defect logged or raised. So a defect is logged or raised by the testing team, can be SIT, UAT, when the actual result of a test case or scenario is not as per the expected result. That is, it's not working as per the requirement. So that is when the testing team will go ahead and log a defect, and the status of the defect would be new. So the defect can be logged into a defect or a bug tracking tool, can be Jira, QC, or any other similar tools which has been used by the organization, but the concept still remains the same irrespective of the tool. So the defect is logged, the status would be new, and then the testing team will go ahead and assign it to the business analyst. So before, uh, uh, so once it comes to the business analyst, there are key things which they have to check, and the testers have to be educated upfront that the defect which is raised has all the details, which is the description of the defect, what is the problem, what is the expected result, what is the actual result, what were the steps taken to come to this particular point, what were the screenshots showing the defect, and what is the priority on the severity. The priority and severity is more or less be the responsibility of the business analyst to ensure that they're correctly tagged so that it is picked up in the order of importance by the development team and worked upon. So these are some things which has to be educated to the testers and they have to do it. But if they have not done it when the defect is assigned to the business analyst, they have to check all those things whether they are in place. If not, appropriate feedback has to be provided back to the testing team. So the first step will be able to check whether it's valid or not. If the business analyst find it's not valid, then the defect would be rejected there itself, and the status of the defect will go to rejected status. So let's look at an example for this particular scenario, which is the testing team logs a defect stating that they are unable to book more than 10 seats. So there is an error if they're trying to book for 11 to 15, whatever, up post 10. So the defect is raised, it comes to the BA. BA just looks at it and rejects it upfront because there is a business rule in place which states that a customer can book up to maximum of 10 tickets as per of a single transaction. So the system was built as per the business rule, but the testers are not aware of this, or they might have misreading it or misunderstanding it differently. So the defect is rejected, and the business analyst provide his or her comments stating why it's rejected, because it's as per the system is working as per the business rule. So this is one scenario where the business analyst rejects the defect. Let's say the defect is valid by validated by B and it's a valid one, then it gets assigned to the development team. So now the status of the defect will change to assigned, and then development team will look at the details, and if they find it's invalid, then again they will also do the same thing as what the BA did, which is they will reject it as invalid, and the status of the defect will go to rejected. So one of the examples for this scenario is the testers logged a defect stating the online payment facility after movie tickets booking is not working, it failed. So when the business analyst looked at it, yeah, looks like a valid scenario. it should have worked. So that's why it gets assigned to the development team. But when the development team did the details, so the issue was with the test data. So there would be usually during testing these kind of e-commerce functionality or online booking functionality, there would be test credit cards and test you know payment methods. The ones which was used in the scenario, it was not a correct one, so that didn't have funds or it was not mapped correctly. So basically it's a test data error. So it was rejected by the development team, asking the testers to correctly test with the correct test data or the correct card which was assigned to that particular environment as such. So this is one scenario. Usually the development team rejecting the defect is due to test data or an environmental error, connectivity, some like it's basically it's not to do with anything with the code. It's usually the test data or some other setup issues. Let's say the development team validated it, and then they the next step is they find yes, it's a valid defect. They will try to reproduce it on their side. Uh, if they are unable to reproduce it after multiple attempts, they will tag it as unreproducible and send it back to the testing team. One of such scenarios is like, say, the testing team logged a defect stating that the seats which are available, even though there were no seats booked, when they try booking it, it is showing all grayed out. The seats are grayed out and they're not unable to book it, which is a valid scenario. They should be able to book it when it's available. But when the testing team looks at it, they're able to see all the seats are available for booking. So basically, it might have been an environment issue again. Don't know, they're not able to reproduce it. So they're tried multiple times. It seems to be working for them. So they tag it as unreproducible and then send it back to the testing team. So this is one example way of unreproducible. Let's say if they're able to reproduce it, first thing they will check is whether is it a duplicate. If it is a duplicate, they will tag this defect as duplicate. The status will go to duplicate, and they will tag it to the original defect, the one which was raised first. So one of the examples for this is like, say, the testers, the UAT testers, or they logged the defect stating that the backdated functionality is not working. So like we are on July 20th, they're trying to book tickets for July 1st for the same year. It was letting them to do, which is not correct. So this defect was already logged. Let's say in example, SIT already logged it. So what will happen is the UAT defect will be tagged as you put it in duplicate status, and it will be linked to the SIT defect so that it can be, like appropriately tracked to closure. So this is a common occurrence where this one SIT UAT, and also where UAT is done by multiple sites or multiple countries, multiple cities. So in our example, if you take this XYZ cinemas, the UAT is done by two people also, like from different cities. Let's say if they're having the same issue, who are logged first will be retained, and the second defect on the same nature will be tagged as duplicate. So there's another key thing. The next one is, let's say it's not a duplicate, they'll try to the development team will try to do the fix. So again, if the fix is complex or we are very close to the release time, the next thing will be to check whether can we go with the release without that particular piece of functionality working. If there is an agreement, then the status of that defect will be put into deferred. So let's just take one example for this. Let's say the staff portal is not having issues, some display issues when viewed on mobile. So there is a customer side and there is a staff side for this online movie booking thing. So customer side talks about customer seeing it, booking the tickets, paying for it, and then there is a staff side where they will see uh, the seats booked and also some admin related things. Usually the staff will work only on the desktop as per the business procedures, so they won't be using the mobile as such. So they can just check it, but that's not how what is defined in the business procedures. So having considering that, then this issue can be fixed in the next release, or maybe in the if it's really thing, it can be fixed as a minor release in the future. So these kind of decisions are again key, and business analyst plays a very key role in these kind of decisions about differing priority and severity, because the IT would not know, and business analysts would definitely know based on their closeness with the business and understanding of the business procedures and the business functionality. They can make this recommendation. That's fine. We can go ahead and we can fix it as per the next release. Again, another key part BA plays in, at least on this particular deferred defects. Let's say they're able to fix it or it was logged earlier in the release cycle, then the development team will go ahead and resolve the issue and develop the updated and develop the fix or the updated code. Then the status of the defect will go to fixed. Then it will be assigned to the testing team, whoever logged the defect. They will be doing retesting. Let's say the retesting failed, then it will be assigned back to the development team. Again, they will work on resolving and again redeploying the fix. And once the retesting is successful, let's say, then the defect is closed and the status of the defect would be mapped to closed, which brings us to the end of the defect lifecycle. So this is how the end-to-end defect lifecycle is. The same thing would be followed in SIT, UAT, and as you see, BA do play crucial part in a couple of areas, and that's one of the reason, as I was telling in one of the previous videos, nowadays the BAs are asking to do double hatting, especially managing and coordinating UAT testing, and this is why the defect lifecycle is one of the crucial questions which might be asked in the interviews if they're looking for such kind of double hatting roles. Yeah. So hopefully this gives you much background on the different types of status used, and also try to provide some examples so that it becomes much more clearer. Which brings us to the end of this video. Did you enjoy this video? If so, I would request you to please go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel and also click on the bell icon so that you'll be notified when we release a new video. We do post videos regularly on interview questions and prep, and we also cover a lot of topics on business analysis techniques as well. So again, please go ahead and subscribe if you have not already done so. And also in the description, I've linked to all the business analysis interview questions and answers video series. So please go ahead and check it out. This will definitely help you in your business analysis interview. I can assure you that there would be definitely few questions from this particular playlist which will be asked so that you can easily answer the questions confidently and you can get your dream job. Thank you, and I'll speak to you in the next video. Until then, bye bye, and thank you so much for watching this video till the end.